Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Apologies for what happened just a second ago. We'll get right to the live show here in just a second. I gotta wait for this stupid thing to cycle so that I can mute it. I'm not sure what's going on. I just went live. Okay, so I have a comment here off to the right. He says you can do it. Huh, that's funny. Um, okay, so we're going to talk about return of capital. We're going to talk about YieldMax dividends and so on in this one. Here we go. That took a really long time. Technology's weird sometimes. Okay, anyway, so I'm live in the Discord. Again, apologies for what happened a few minutes ago. I had a crazy echo and I couldn't get to the tab to close it out, so I just had to end the stream and start it over. But anyway, I'm back here now. Um, so I want to go over return of capital first, or actually I want to go over return of capital, but before we get into that, I want to go over some rather amusing hate comments that I got earlier today. Oh, somebody just joined. Is this the same person that commented here, Brian? Okay, so you're in. All right, so I'm live in Discord if anybody wants to join me, wants to confront me, or wants to say anything at all. I'm live. But what I wanted to go over first is just some comments here from my video earlier. The return of capital thing is becoming a very, I don't know if you want to say divisive subject or what, but people agree and disagree, or I guess there's two sides to it, two different schools of thought. And some of you are like very quick to point out that, oh, you don't understand what that means. So I figured I would just go over some comments that I got from earlier videos. Let's see, we'll do this one first. When you're retiring on dividends, you don't want return of capital. I'd rather be taxed. Why? Because no doubt, unless you're rich, you're going to need a loan. I'll be with you in just a second. Hold on. You're going to need a loan, and that return of capital will not count as income on your taxes. I want the income on my taxes so I can get a car loan, a house loan, etc. I mean, there is some benefit, of course, to not having to pay taxes on it. Anyway, Tesla is starting to look attractive again, but I still feel like Tesla has some tough times for a bit longer. Probably so. Yeah, happy Cinco de Mayo. That's what today was. Okay, let's see who we have on here. Oh, Marsh. Yeah, you were trying to join just a second ago. I had kind of a cluster with that last live stream and had to just start it over.
No worries.
So, how are you? What's up?
Good, good. Not
Awesome.
much. Just hanging out. Just got home from work.
Oh wow, I had to work on a Sunday.
Yeah, I work weird hours.
Oh yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, so let me read this one again. If somebody retires on dividends, you don't want return of capital. They would rather be taxed because you're going to need a loan. I don't understand what needing a loan has to do with it. That return of capital will not count. So the way I see it, return of capital is like giving your money back to you. I talked to Jay Friday. He said it's a good thing. He said that all covered call ETFs are doing it. Let's read another comment here. Last year, my YieldMax income was about 50-50 of distribution versus return of capital, according to my tax statement. Is returning capital one of the negative forces on NAV? If they didn't return the money, would we see better stock prices? That's what I'm wondering. So we're going to have him on May 28th to explain. Um, and he's going to answer all the questions because looking at the statement, it looks like if you see $1 dividend and you see that 9 cents of it was a quote unquote actual dividend, it would make you think that 91 cents it was return of capital. Um, and since that stopped in November, it seems like with Tesla, it went down even further. But anyway, I'm not trying to make an inference there. I'm just saying since November, since the ones that were doing the return of capital thing seemed like they stopped, that there might have been a difference in stock price. But anyway, let me get to the comments here. So I had a couple of comments here come in from a real champ here. So let me start out. So he had some nice things to say about me. First, he said Investopedia is wrong. Okay, so Investopedia is wrong, but you must be right. I take it. ROC is a legal tax loophole in all caps, just like a div paying whole life policy. They call that dividend a return of premium, but you, all caps, keep reading Investopedia. It's a way to receive income without paying taxes on it, you bozo. Okay, so he called me a bozo. Okay. Leave it along, let it go. It doesn't even matter if you ever understand it or not. Your CPA does and the IRS does. Well, okay, just to let you know, Mr. Deriv Capital, uh, when I started reading these tax statements, I actually saw another YouTube channel that covers it that happens to be a CPA, and he's the one that covered it. So let's see, you don't understand WTF. Very nice. Your cell phone rings when someone calls you, but you use it every day. Anyways, clowns, all of you. Well, the grammar could use a little bit of work, I would say. And then his second comment here, he says, since the consensus is that all of you clowns won't buy Crash, which I don't know where he got that because it's so new. I don't know how that became a consensus in like a week, but go figure. I'm not the guru, and he is. I'm definitely buying it, creating a strangle of double dividends from my TSLP, Curve, and Crash. He says, this dude is so stupid, he know nothing, with a little emoji. What do you coach Brody? Interesting. So, again, the spelling and grammar could use a little work, but he seems to be very very lit with the insults. But anyway, so this person has a channel apparently of let's see, 7 subscribers. So I guess this person would consider himself the guru and not me. But anyway, just I was kind of amused by that, so I thought I would go over some of the comments. So let's talk about return of capital. Let's get all of you all's feedback on it. Let's see who we have on here. We got Brian Piazza, who was also in the comment section. So, Brian, any thoughts on return of capital? Am I right? Am I wrong? What do you think? You'll have to unmute your mic if you want to talk. If not, in the meantime, we'll just go back to you, Marsh. What are your thoughts on return of capital?
Well, it's very. Well, I think the trick is you're trying to figure out. It's not about the tax treatment. I think everyone agrees that return of capital is a good tax thing. It's whether or not they're doing the premiums in a way where I don't know how to explain it. Like they're trying to, if they're giving you your money back, it's
Yeah.
what they're considering a return of capital is what everyone wants to know, and they can hide that or they can do it however they want, and we would never know
Hmm.
because it's creative accounting on their end. So
Right.
it's whether they're making money or not, and then if return of capital is if just giving your money back, well that sucks. But if it's actual games they're playing with how they're paying out the premium where it's actual profit, then I guess it's a great thing because then you're not having to pay taxes on it.
Right.
But it's kind of hard to tell what YieldMax is actually doing.
And that's what we're going to get him on and have him talk about. But when I look at the statements, I see that it was done for a few funds up until November and then it stopped.
I don't know. I mean, I have YieldMax. I have some YieldMax. I don't hate it, but I do realize it's a real risky
Yeah.
investment.
Oh, I have some too.
Um,
I absolutely have. I have Tesla still, and I have Coney and SQY, and I think I have some Alti. And
yeah, and I was actually I
hmm
sold my Coney because I feel like that crypto winter might not winter, but I think it's gonna pull back. I think there's gonna be a pullback, and I don't want to get caught with that, selling off.
hmm
But I've been selling cash secured puts on coin, and I've actually found that I've made more premium doing that than if I would have just bought Coney. Like it was more profitable for me to sell cash secured puts on coin than to own Coiny, and I'm risking the same amount of money, and I'm making a higher premium than what coin just paid out.
So doing cash
So I
secured
don't know if it's
puts.
worth it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's worth it, but
Hmm.
for how much capital you're risking, right? Because
Yeah.
I had 600 shares of Coiny, and it was like I think about 12,000 to, depending on what the price of Coiny was, to 18,000,
Hmm.
depending. Because sometimes when I bought my cost average was pretty low, and Coney was all the way up to like 27, $28. So it was basically almost 20K. but I could get, it was like a $2 something payout. So I think about 1,400 bucks. And I could just sell cash secured puts every week and get about $400 or $500 in premium. So I was like, well, I think this strategy might be better. And if I get a sign, then I could just wheel it and sell calls without having to mess with owning Coney.
Right. Yeah, that makes
That
sense.
was like a little experiment I did this month.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I
So,
still have a nice chunk of Nvidia, the NVDY one.
right. How many cash secured puts were you doing?
Well, I just did one a week.
Okay, and you made like 500 in premium.
Well, I made I think 399 the first week, four something the second week,
Okay.
500 in the last 2 weeks because it was getting closer to um their earnings. So it seemed like it was a little more juiced.
Interesting.
And I wasn't even like that close to the money either. I was kind of way out.
Yeah, that's pretty good then.
Like the last one I posted in the great options trade, I put. So I bought on Wednesday a 182.50 put, and I got paid $1.56 per contract for only bought one contract.
Hmm.
Oh
Oh,
no,
I see it.
156. So I made 399, and that expired worthless. And I've been buying high tide puts because I kind of want to get a sign though on the high tide puts.
That makes sense. That's actually a good way to like wheel high tie too.
Well, I don't even want to wheel. I just want to get a sign. I was like, well, I can, because with that put, I got a nice fat $443, and it has to drop to 205 for me to get a sign. So it's still got a whole week left on it, and I don't mind if I get a sign because it's like I'm buying at a nice low price.
That's a good trade. I like it. And I see the Coinbase one here. Yeah, that looks good. So are you letting this one, did this one just expire for
Yeah,
Coinbase?
expired. Yeah, I collected all the premium.
Awesome. Yeah, I was looking to sell out of Coney when it got like in March. I was gonna sell, but it dropped back again, so I'm just kind of holding it.
Yeah, it dropped. It went up on the day before earnings, and then it kind of sold off a little bit, but it didn't sell off too much. I'll
Hmm.
probably look. I like to look at on Wednesday because I feel like it's closer to the expiration date, and it's not. I feel like it's less risky because I think it is a very volatile stock. It goes up and down a lot.
Yep. So we had a question come in, is Coney good? So what I've found, none of these really are going to outperform the underlying, but we can look on the chart. Coney's been, I would say, one of the better ones of the YieldMax funds. Let's see.
It's moved a lot. I can tell you that much because it moves way up, and then it'll crash, and then go way back down,
Definitely.
and then go way back up. So it's kind of a roller coaster ride. It's like I was thinking the I think wheeling Coney or wheeling coin by yourself is a better strategy. Is what I'm starting to kind of figure out.
Yeah, I agree. I like that. Yeah, because Coinbase, let's see, over 6 months, I mean, Coinbase is up 28%. Um, yeah, I mean, as of like the end of the year, last year, Coney was doing great, but then we crashed. We crashed from there.
So it's just gonna I think it's just gonna follow whatever crypto's doing. So if crypto's starting to sell off, then you're gonna see coin tank, and then once
Hmm.
crypto starts to run again, it's just gonna spike.
But the thing is, like in 6 months, Coinbase is up 160%. It's going to be hard. I mean, they're not capturing a lot of that upside with Coney. So even if I look at the total return, it's going to be, let's see, yeah, 83%. So you're still missing half of the return you can actually have by being in the stock with
Hmm.
Coney. But
So
still, hmm,
I still like Nvidia. I think Nvidia's pretty solid. Like I mean, I get it. You got the capped upside, but I don't know. It's expensive to for the puts on the cash secured puts on Nvidia because just how high the stock price is.
right.
So to me, it seems like, oh, it's not too bad to own a bit of Nvidia, the Nvidia one.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, NVDY is up 68% in total return, while Nvidia is up 97% over 6 months. But yeah, it's based on a stock that's really been doing well.
Hmm.
Let's see the comments. Someone says, "What about Tesla? Will it continue to go down?" It looks like it's starting to recover, but Tesla is so unpredictable. I mean, who knows?
Tesla is the one that's down the most out of all of them,
Hmm.
because it's the only one that's reverse split.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I
Tesla.
just I don't like Tesla as a company, so I don't really touch it.
Right.
I mean, I had Tesla for a while when I first got into YieldMax because that was the only one, and then I took like a 3K loss and sold out. I was like, I can't, I'm doing this.
Hmm. Yeah. No, Tesla's too much of a risky company. I mean, I have some stock, but I'm just kind of holding the bag with it.
Yeah, I have Nvidia, I have the AMDY one, which is the one I'm down the most on is the AMDY one.
Hmm.
The Netflix, the Amazon, the Facebook, Microsoft, and PayPal ones.
Hmm.
But ultimately, I want to just trim down to just probably Nvidia and Amazon, and then just cut the rest of them out.
Oh yeah. Why Amazon?
Well, the Amazon the one to me is it doesn't it seems like it's trading sideways. I
Hmm.
think Amazon stock,
Yeah.
and I think in a sideways market, I think these YieldMax funds can be pretty decent.
Yeah, possibly. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. AMDY. Yeah, AMDY total returns up 14%, but I know it's been getting crushed as far as like the fund
Yeah, I'm
price.
I'm down like I'm down like 1800 on the AMDY one.
Oh, dang. How much did you put in?
I have 400 shares with a
Okay.
cost of 8,500, and it's worth 6,700
Oh, wow. Yeah.
ish right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's down like 19%. Let's see. Let's see what some of the comments say here. We have a commenter said, "Is Coney good for swing trading?" I mean, if it's up and down so much. Let's see. ESR Tech says, "Sold all my TSLY, YMAX, and Ulti to try broken butterflies and cash puts too." Okay, I don't think that's quite what it's called, but sure. Sounds great. Most yield max have been down. Someone says Coney is the next Tesla. Which yield max have
Well, I
outperformed
think I think UTLY is going to crash next. That one's going to be the UTLY is probably going to be the one that reverse splits the next one because it just swings so wild. It drops like a rock,
Yeah,
and the distributions it pays so high.
unsustainable. Yeah, it can't pay out like a
Yeah,
$2 distribution. And I mean, if you annualize that, it's more than what the NAV is of the fund currently.
yeah. Look at that chart.
Yeah. Yeah, it's already
Oh, that's
crashing.
terrible.
Yep.
I know. And then I think the Defiance funds will be heading that way too. Because
It's
I think
funny.
all the Defiance funds, they're not. I was in those big in the beginning, and I
Hmm.
was after like 3 months of payments and watching them just evaporate. I was like, oh, I'm out. I'm out.
Hmm.
So you can do this.
When you got into those, you were thinking because of the indexes that it would be safer, right?
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I thought the strategy. I thought it was decent. I see a lot of people sell the 0 day puts all the time,
Right.
and then and I didn't lose money on those either in total return when I sold out of them. I think I made like 1,500 on QQQY and I made like $15 on IWMY.
Hmm.
But I was like, this is you could just see like it just going down, down, down.
Right. Yeah, it's funny because I had Sylvia on, so they sent me shirts for each of the funds, and I'm kind of like, I don't know if I can pitch these funds, you know?
Yeah, I don't think they're very good.
No, no, I mean each one of them, even like the IWMY has been getting crushed, and this was supposed to be the year of the small caps, I thought.
Hmm.
Oh, this commenter says I split the wings 30 days, 20 delta, sell at the money, 0 day. Oh, okay. They're making a joke. Let's see. Richard King says now is the time to get into Tesla. Oh, really? A AIRR ETF. Let's look that one up. AIRR. Looks like a growth ETF. Ben Mallinson says the funds are called YieldMax, but Jay says you cannot use all of the distribution, can't get over that. Yeah, he said manage your shares, and he said, you know, yeah, I'm like, if you want a positive return, you can't just use them to like pay your mortgage or whatever. So let's see.
Yeah, that was.
Hmm.
Yeah, if I hadn't reinvested all the payouts I got, I think I'd be down a lot more because
Oh,
I
for
kind of
sure.
just used them to buy SPY I, and I was like, I like SPY I. I'm just gonna keep buying that one.
Hmm. I've used mine actually to buy into other stuff.
Yeah, that's what I do with mine too.
I was kind of doing the wheel strategy, like the dividend wheel, but um, I don't know why I bought Ulti, honestly. And I've got some YMAX and some YMAG. Let's see. Paul Varden says the Saver Tesla is coming out. Crash just launched. Yeah, so they launched Crash, oddly enough, after Tesla just had like a 37% run up. I actually talked about that with Jay. We had a phone conversation. It was very interesting. After the video I did Friday, we ended up talking over the phone. Um, let's see here. So double A seems as energetic as a double A battery. All caps says either you break even or you will lose money and it will take you 1 year to recover your cost. Exactly 1 year, huh? Interesting. Let's see. Citizen of
I
the
don't
year.
think anybody that bought
Hmm.
anybody that bought in at Tesla at the beginning, I don't think they're ever gonna get that money back.
No, it doesn't look like it.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Not with the cap upside.
yeah. Citizen of the year, every time he's on, he says, "Is it free money?" He asks me the same question all the time. I say no, and my answer's still the same. Dividends are not free money. So my answer hasn't changed. Um, and I think most of us agree. Let's see. Varden agrees. He says no free money. JEPI, JEPQ, Devo. Yeah, those are good ones for sure. Um, they're getting a
Yeah,
little.
I have noticed,
Mhm.
on his some of his recent live streams, he seems to starting to realize that he's not getting paid as much as he thought he was gonna get paid. Because like Tesla came in a little lower, his clip came in a little lower than he thought.
Who is this?
I think eventually,
Oh,
Kimmer,
yeah. So he seems like
because
he's not.
he sounded a little,
Uh-huh.
he sounded a little disappointed when that clip distribution was announced, and he wasn't gonna get his 7,000 or whatever it was he was gonna hit, and
That
then the
fund,
same with Tesla.
that fund is garbage. I have a little bit of it, and I don't, you know what happened like a year ago? The audience was all they kept talking about clip and clip and clip, and I bought some, and yeah, that fund is garbage. I should probably get out of it.
Yeah, I got out of it. I was in it too, and I
Hmm.
got out of it.
Yeah, but so you were watching Kumair, and that was what he was saying.
Well, I just his the sound of his voice when he was like when the clip distribution was announced on his live stream, it sounded
Hmm.
like he was a little annoyed that it wasn't as high as he was gonna. Because he kept saying I'm at 7,000 a month, 7,000 a month, and then he came in like under,
Hmm.
so it wasn't 7,000 a month, because the distributions are going down too as the prices are going down to make the same yield. They don't have to pay out as much.
Yeah. So I'll say about Kumair what he said about me. So like I know who he is, but I haven't watched one of his videos in a long time. But yeah, I can see where he would be upset about it being lower. Because I think he's got margin. He's got a lot of margin, so he probably needs the dividends to pay some of it back.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see here. Citizen of the Year says, "Can I have 10K a month in cash flow?" Yeah, invest in good companies, right? Um, Otherwise, you invest, and if you're getting that like on 100,000, I mean, you could get that like with an S-Vol or something. Um, but it depends on what you're investing in. Let's see, Tesla/Clip distributions are going down over time. Well, they have to because the NAV of the fund is dropping, right? So when the fund is worth less, it's going to drop because the dividend it's based on a lower fund, so it's going to have to drop. And of course, again, these are covered call premiums. They're not necessarily dividends. They're premium payouts. Yeah, year to date, Tesla's still down 33%. If we look from July 6th, that's where that was the point to sell right there, July 6th. I mean, if you wanted a good gain, if you bought like in the beginning of the year or so, that was the point to sell. Any good things to invest in that isn't high tide? Well, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's you want some growth stocks? Let's see how this one's doing. This is a supplier of Tesla, up 57% for the year. And really it keeps rolling. Well, we were up 72% in March 21st. Let's see. Let's look up what was four? Yeah, 4 star. This is one I like. 69% year over year, only up 1% this year though. Had a little bit of a crash. Maybe they had bad earnings or something. Um, SMCI I like a lot. I would I would probably buy this if this got down to like maybe 700. Um, then again, I mean, who knows? Let's see. Citizen of the Year says S. Buxley. Is that a real? I know Starbucks, but I actually was looking at Starbucks the other day. I think Starbucks might be, they got hammered a little bit. They might be at a decent buying point, actually. I think they had bad earnings or something. Yeah, so they went from,
Yeah, I think they have
yeah.
some issues.
hmm Varden says stay away from SMCI. Well, why? You ought to join us live and tell us. Let's see. Funds go down, distribution goes down, you keep on losing, overall goes down. What moat do they have? They have a coffee moat, right?
I
I
think he's
just,
talking about SMCI.
oh yeah, yeah, I got
But
it.
they're a foundry, right? They just make chips
hmm
for all those companies. Aren't they
Right.
just a foundry, SMCI?
I think so, yeah.
I think a lot of the other companies are starting to try to be, I think Intel's going to do their own foundry.
hmm Yeah, I sold out of Intel. And IBM. IBM has been doing really good, I think. Well, they finally started popping last year. Let's see, 54%. Yeah, they were up, and then let's see, year to date, 1% year to date. Someone said, oh, Jakeem said, I think Starbucks gonna drop a bit more. Maybe. I can always ask the 8 ball. Um, let's see, Intel. Intel's down 38% this year. Hmm.
Yeah, they had bad earnings.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Project X Woodworking says
Uh,
I. Oh, go ahead.
uh, I was saying, I sold some. Well, I'm going to try to because I put the order in. I don't know if it'll get executed or not because they have their earnings tomorrow. But I sold some cash secured puts on Palantir,
Okay.
which I know it's like a kind of a memey stock, but
Right.
that everyone talks about on YouTube. But I was like, man, they have their earnings tomorrow. Their
Mm-hmm.
earnings looked good last time. The bunch of articles are expecting them to beat again, I think.
Mm-hmm. So if they beat, then your puts will just expire out of the money and you'll keep the premium.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I sold
actually. hmm
13 contracts.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's up at a lot of, so I'm trying to get $1,000 around, right, a little over $1,000.
Oh, okay. Do you have any Palantir stock?
I wheeled it earlier in the year, and then I kind of once I got called away, I was like, ah, I'm out. Well, I mean, I made a little bit of money doing that, and I was like, okay, that was fun.
Hmm. That's good. Yeah, I actually have some Palantir stock. It's one of my better holdings right now.
Yeah, it's a stock I wouldn't mind owning at the because I bought the puts at 21.50.
Hmm.
Let me see my order status. So I bought 13 contracts, 81 cents, at 21.50 strike price,
Hmm.
expiring May 10th.
Okay. You should post that in the Discord too.
Yeah, if I get it, I will post it
Okay.
because
Cool.
I don't know if I don't know if the when the market opens, I don't know if the price will drop, and I
Hmm.
won't get because I have my bid. The bid's 81, but when on the opening, sometimes they can kind of jump up or jump down a bit, or
Right.
if it goes down, I won't get it. Then I'll have to redo it,
Right.
and then I might not do it if it's too low, if it's not worth enough money.
Yeah, if it moves fast, yeah, it can really
Yeah, yeah,
move. Yeah.
because I think it's up after market hours or after hours. I think it's up
Hmm.
in anticipation.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, SoundHound, their earnings are on the 9th, I guess. They kind of crashed since like March 15th. Someone said I would like Palantir at 18 or 19. Let's look up Palantir while we're at it. 36% year to date. Let's see here. Um, oh, they were up to 26 and then they fell back to 20. They've got an F for valuation by Seeking Alpha. Someone says they're tied to Nvidia, or I mean not SoundHound. That's why I got them because they were like a $5 per share stock, and they started to. I think I almost doubled, and then it started crashing again. Palantir has a terrifying amount of stock-based compensation. Wouldn't buy it at any price. Well, I've been in it since like 2022, so if it gets a little higher, I'll probably just sell out of it, but I'm up right now, so I'm happy with it right now. I thought based on the business model and based on they're like in the defense industry, so I thought they would be good. Um, I know like they're a meme stock and all. They get a lot of coverage on
Yeah,
YouTube.
it's that's
Hmm.
yeah, the premiums are good because
Right.
I think the premiums are good,
Right.
but I don't know if I would hold it long term.
Hmm. Yeah, I think if it gets back up to what was its recent high? If it gets back to like 27 or $26, I'll probably just sell it. But I've been in it since it was here. I got in at like where was it? I think I got in at like $10 or something. So we'll see. I'll give it another month or so. Let's
Yeah, I
see.
think they have some issues with they don't have like a good private use case for their AI software that they do.
Hmm.
It's all dependent on government contracts.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
until they get that, there it's going to be hard for them to be profitable. And I think they do a lot of creative accounting too with how they um, how they report how they calculate their earnings.
Hmm.
I forgot, I watched some YouTube video on it a long time ago. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was something to do with like a lot of their earnings comes from stuff they invested in other companies or something like that.
Hmm. That's Palantir.
Yeah,
Interesting. Let's see. Richard
but
King. Oh,
I think they'll have good earnings this week. That's what I'm hoping for, and then I can those puts will expire and I'll be happy.
hmm. I wonder if so the way I used to play earnings, I would buy call options on a company a little bit out of the money and hope for a big gain. Because it can work out. Like if they do have good earnings, then you can make a quick, nice gain. But there's probably too much IV like built into it at this point. Let's see. Richard King says Peter Thiel is from Mars. Project X Woodworking says I have 2,000 shares of Soundhound. Made some really good premiums and covered calls. Made like 2,000 uncovered calls in the last month alone. Posted in the Discord. So the premium on Sound has been really good for short-term trades.
I'll probably have to look at that one too.
Yeah, yeah, it was doing really well, but then it crashed like a month ago. But I'm waiting for it to come back. I bought in at I think I bought in at like five something because I saw the same thing. I saw that it was kind of involved in it's tied to Nvidia in some way.
All right, Coach, I'm gonna hop off, man.
All
Good
right,
talking with you.
yeah, you too. Take care. Bye. Let's see. Palantir pays their employees with shares, which boosts their apparent free cash flow, gives shareholders a false impression they're more profitable than they really are. Interesting. Well, yeah, like I said, if they have good earnings, I'll sell out of it. Oracle, fast money trader. What about AMZY? I put 300,000 in there on margin and made 14,000 this month. Uh, I think you're just being funny when you say that. You don't need to do that to me. You can do that to other channels, but yeah, I would never recommend doing something like that. Let's see. What else did you say? Margin cost 2,000, 2,200, no money, out of pocket. Yeah, well, if you're with Schwab, it's like a 13% margin interest rate. I hope they come up with an inverse in video because then you can do inverse and are you using like you're gonna make me laugh here. Are you using like your talk to type on your phone or something and trying to say NVIDIA? Um, let's see. Eugene for Harmony says, Coach, so I would have some question for Jay. I posted one in Discord. Okay, good. What about TD Bank? What about it? I'm not being funny, bro. Okay, let's see. Well, you're saying AMZY, I put 300,000 in there on margin. I mean, why would you do that much in one fund unless you're loaded? I mean, if it all depends on what percent of your net worth it is. You made 14,000 this month. I don't know. I don't know what your goals are. I don't know what your strategy is, but that just sounds like a lot of money to be in one fund. So, let's see. Anyway, as far as great options trades, those go here. Let's see here. Another good week for this guy here. Incredible. Almost a full-time salary in the first 4 months of the year. Let's see. I do play a little bit with margin, but only at a very small amount. I use it for when the price goes down to a price I can't pass up. Today I placed limit buys on shares of High Tie and more calls on MSOS. I hope I get filled. Yeah, MSOS, my calls were up in MSOS on the news when the news actually broke last week. Good time to buy TD, buy bad news last week came out. We'll look at that in a second. Let's see. Oracle Fast Money, Mr. Fast Money Man here says, no, I'm talking about the YieldMax in video. I want them to come out with an inverse one because I'm going to do a Tesla sandwich, Tesla and CRSH. An inverse of what? Like what ticker are you talking about? Because it says diversified. Okay, I'm not sure what you're talking about here. As diversified as you could get. Which fund is as diversified as you could get? Let's see here. He's just copying what the YieldMax TV guy said with AMZY. Oh, the YieldMax TV channel. Yeah, I've heard he's on some lists for roasting or something. I don't know. That's interesting, but I don't give recommendations on the channel, but I don't necessarily think that putting 300,000 in one fund is a great idea. Strategy is a free cash machine. Oh, really? You have a free cash machine, huh? Well, clone it and mail me one too. Okay, let's see where we are here. So general thread, this is Discord. Definitely join it if you all haven't already. Um, as far as, I feel like I'm gonna have to keep reiterating this here. Return of capital. So let me just read the definition of return of capital again. Return of capital is a payment made to an investor by an ETF that is part of their original investment. Return of capital is not considered income or capital gains from the investment and is not taxed as income. So that's great that it's not taxed as income because it's not actually income. Okay? It says ROC is not considered income or capital gains from the investment. TD Bank news was horrible. Let me go look at that. The Bitcoin bull run is over. Coney, Misty, all of them will do terrible. Ybit as well. Oh, TD Bank got fined. Let's see. May 2nd, Canada's anti-money laundering agency said on Thursday it has imposed its biggest ever penalty of nearly 9.2 million on TD Bank. Opens new tab over non-compliance of anti-money laundering regulations. Interesting. That is interesting for sure. So let's look at TD Bank then. What's the ticker for TD Bank? I don't know the ticker. Somebody give it to me. Let's see. You need tons of margin, but he's using that margin. Dividends pay for his margin fees. Can work until margin runs out or another play on margin affects the other. US news on TD Bank. Worse. If it's Amazon, it is. Oh, is it the Canadian bank? The Toronto Dominion? Yeah, I don't follow this one too much. But yeah, ooh, it did. It did go way down. Okay. Well, if I type Toronto, it's going to give me either Toronto Blue Jays or Toronto Maple Leafs, right? How are they doing, by the way? They're in the playoffs, right? They were playing Boston, I think. It came down to game seven. Did that happen already? Let's see. Yeah, so, we might be, this one's at 65. This one might be, we'll see. It might get beat up more. Anyway, all right. Well, not too much live participation tonight, so not going to go too much longer here, unless anyone else has any last minute words of wisdom. Oh, good. The Blue Jays knocked, oh, never mind. I'm thinking of Maple Leafs. Yeah, I figured Boston won. I just saw where they forced a game seven, I believe, a couple days ago, but I haven't followed it. My Lightning are out too. Anyway, let's see. The other one that really tanked last week was CVS. Interesting. So, all right, you all, that's about as long as I'm going to go tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe. And oh, one more question back to ROC. So, are we hoping the funds survive long enough to actually get full money back? That would be the goal. Um, I don't think they would go anywhere. I think they would just keep reverse splitting, which Jay has also said since these YieldMax funds continue to erode. Well, again, not all of them. I mean, 16 of 22 are up in total returns. Varden says, Coach, are you going to roast other YouTubers? I don't know. Should I? What do you think? Should I do a poll? Who do you all want me to roast? Richard King says, playoffs. Are we talking about playoffs? Yes, we are. YieldMax Yuck. Is that a channel? Who do you guys want me to roast? I can't imagine what you all's answers would be. I will say other channels are doing a pretty good job of it though. Um, like I don't think I could do a better job than Strongman Finance in terms of roasting other channels. Let's see, if I was able to use margin and have the margin pay off the entire thing now, I have a $300,000 asset paying me 14,000 a month. What's your asset? Because your asset's not a yield max fund. Assets are like real estate, like a house or property. Yield max, I'm sorry, but a yield max fund, I don't consider I don't quite agree with your line of thinking. It's not free money. It's not free money. As long as it keeps paying the income, who cares? Yeah, you're funny. I'm not the same as these other yield max channels. Okay, go to Kumair with that. Okay? Like I get it. Okay? I'm not stupid. Like you're funny, like that's funny, but like go talk that with Kumair. I know he'll go ban you, but maybe you can have 5 minutes or whatever. Let's see. Varden says roast Blake. He needs the high tie views. I just can't roast Blake though. There's really like nothing to roast other than we just need to get him to upload more. I watched playoffs until Friday, then Nashville lost. You're welcome to roast me, but make sure you look at my tip ranks ranking. We have. That's why I'm saying there's not much to roast. Um, let's see. Too much in one category, right? Fast money. If it produces negative total returns, you should care. What am I running away from? Like, there's nothing to address. 300,000 in a YieldMax fund is not 300,000 in an asset. What more do you want to know? I mean, I don't think you legitimately believe what you're saying. You're like you're thinking that I'm like other YieldMax channels and just like blindly support these and just think it's free money. I don't. So anyway, all right. Well, you know, let's see here. What else did we want to look at? Did I look at high tie? Okay, I looked at TD. Um, yeah, give me if you guys want me to roast other channels. I mean, Blake's just really not roastable, but there are channels out there that are. Look at high tie. High tie's rated a buy and a strong buy. Look at that. That's awesome. Year to date, 34%. It's kicking butt. Okay, let's see here. If you're another YouTuber, I'm happy to debate this with you. I'm happy to have you. You want to join our podcast and debate this? I'll be happy to debate it with you. Okay, AMZY. AMZY is up because the underlying Amazon stock has been doing really well. All the funds that are based on underlying stocks that are doing really well are going to be up, but I don't see any of them necessarily perform or outperform the underlying. I'm roasting everybody. I'm YieldMax TV on YouTube. Okay, well, good for you. I knew your comments were, like in jest. I was hoping they were. There are people that really would agree with you. So, you know, don't let some people out there take your sarcasm too seriously, because that can happen. Amazon stock, AMZN. Let's see here. You see, in the same time frame, 80% in the Amazon stock, 20% in AMZY. The asset is AMZY. You cannot. I would come on and debate you with this because you're totally wrong. I would be glad to have you on the Brewing Great Returns podcast this Wednesday. Feel free to come on. We'll have a good debate. AMZY is the only one that's done well. Not true. NVDY has done well. Coney's done well. 16 of 22 are up in total return. Most YieldMax. Well, I think there's four of them that are down at this point. A YieldMax fund is better than. I 100% disagree. If you pick the right fund. Okay, so what funds then? So you're saying AMZY? This is kind of funny. We're not in the same league, buddy. I make six figures a month and high six-figure a month. That's why you can't understand me nor risk. You should honestly go talk this with Kumair. I think you guys would get along really well, actually. They should join if you want to come on our pod. Yeah, absolutely. We can definitely debate this, but um, if you're making six figures from YieldMax, you have a lot invested in it. Um, so good for you, to each their own. But I consider real estate and YieldMax two distinctly different things. Let's see, that's a lot of risk on one stock. Yeah, I agree. If you play it well, you may do well. Okay. Oh, I skipped a comment here. Seeing how dividends vary, that takes 2 years to have dividends pay off a $300,000 investment. Has any of YieldMax funds been around that long? OARK is the oldest one. What are you talking about? AMZY. You're talking about AMZ. Are you talking about YMAX or AMZY? And there's not one fund that represents everything. There's a fund of funds, but there's not a fund that represents everything. Did it live on my channel? Why would I not believe what I'm saying? Oh, you just want to plug your channel. I see. I see how it is. Well, do you do live streams too? That can be a two-way street, buddy. Let's see. So are you this guy they're talking about, this YieldMax TV guy? I think you might be on Strongman Finance's radar, if I'm not mistaken. Real estate goes up in value over time. Covered call ETFs go down over time. The two are not equal. 100%. So that's what I'm saying. I'm too thick-headed and close-minded. Really? They say they are. Too thick-headed and close-minded. Are you the same person that was commenting on my videos? I was kind of amused by your comments. Yeah, I mean, hey, if you're making six figures, maybe I need to take notes from you. Maybe you can coach me, coach the coach. You haven't made it unless you've been on. Well, I haven't been on yet, so I guess I haven't made it in that case, but maybe that'll happen soon. But anyway, yeah, so so Oracle Fast Money, you should go on one of Kamir's live streams and talk about this with him. I think they would definitely eat this up over there. Anyway, all right, I'm not gonna go too long here. I'm kind of tired, honestly. Got other stuff to do too. Um, okay, we just had another person join Discord. So, all right, you all. I am a YouTuber. I gathered that much. I think you've said that like 5 times now. Well, maybe if you say it a sixth time, I'll believe you. I didn't believe the first 5 times, but maybe if you say it a sixth time, maybe I'll believe you. I can't make any promises though. I'm a YouTuber. Oracle Fast Money Trader is my main trading channel, and YieldMax TV is my main channel free. Oh, he's got multiple channels. How about that? I'll debate you with I'll debate with you done without a doubt. Okay, perfect. You could even join the Discord live too, but I don't want to turn this into like a 2-hour show here. But like if you're both up for it, I mean we could. My first month I quit 20,000 in capital gains off the top. My first month was 9,000 dividends, then 14,000 dividends. I do not reinvest. That's for poor people. So it's dollar cost averaging, and you pick the times that you reinvest. I take it. Such a high roller. See, Blake, we're just not in his league. We just don't get it. I do have fun with this. Let's see here. By the way, I have my dividends sitting right here. My nice dividend money. Just cash sitting around the house. Do y'all think I'd really just have cash sitting around? Let's see here. Um, QQQY, you would be up if you did drip it, even though the fund went down. I got some shirts from Defiance, by the way. They sent me some shirts because I had Sylvia on. Let's see, what did Ponderer say here? Since share price drops at dividend distribution, why are they not all return of capital? We'll have Jay on to answer all of our questions for us. Put this in the subthread. Questions for Jay, YieldMax. Put these in there. Oh, I see the question from Eugene here. Yeah, I agree with Blake. Yeah, your gains need to be, and screenshots too. That would definitely validate them. If you're so well off, can I send you a PayPal donate link for 50,000? That's like coffee money. Yeah, you could send me some too. Yeah, I 100% spreadsheets mean nothing. I think we've learned that from another channel, right, Blake? MVDY, see you're not even spelling the tickers right, is a trend stock. It's not worth the AI hype. You have no idea how this works, bro. Really? Well, again, you can come on the podcast and educate me. I hope they come out with an inverse NVIDIA because I would be all over that. Really? So a stock that's run up like almost 300% in the past year, you want an inverse fund of? Who's Matt? Well, Varden, if I'm not mistaken, Matt is a gentleman that you brought into my Discord, and he left after like an hour because he was miffed that I dared to say that I would sell out of Tesla for a higher price than I paid for it. I mean, who would do something like that? Who would have the nerve to buy low and sell high? You know, go figure. Anyway, oh, this guy's entertaining. All right, let's see what we got here. What else? You all keep me going here. I was gonna end like 20 minutes ago. They have an inverse 2x Nvidia. I make six figures a month from my crypto trading YieldMax. I just started. I will get that. Oh, you'll probably be at a million then by the end of the year. I would get that up there as well. I've done with no money out of pocket. With no money out of pocket. Well, that is impressive. That is definitely impressive. I'm fair game. Like I'm ready to take notes from you on what to do. Amazon is not one stock. Amazon is basically the S&P. So Amazon, one individual company, is the S&P 500, which is 500, the 500 largest companies. Really now. Again, without expressing your gains as a percentage, they're meaningless. In the next quarter and a half, it will be on totally free money. All right, I'm about to start popping some popcorn here in like 2 minutes. I'm thoroughly entertained. In the next quarter and a half, it will be on totally free money, and that point will kick me 23,000 a month minus about 2,000 a month for margin. I like margin. Huh? S&P, Amazon is the S&P. Careful, he might sell you an e-guide. I think he listens to Jim Cramer. I don't know. Jim Cramer's actually starting to do better. AMZY, Amazon is everything. It owns e-commerce, it owns shipping, it owns everything. Oh, so apparently that means banks too, right? Like the biggest banks in the world. The Oracle guy, oh no, not the e-guide. Margin, please. I don't want to plug my channel. You're saying that. Well, you've mentioned it like 6 times. I'm sure you don't. Like, I run a channel too. Have I mentioned that, by the way? I mean, you've only mentioned it like 6 times, but sure, you don't want to plug it. I believe everything you say. Not. I'm just really invested. What did you say? You're saying that I'm just talking. I really invested. Oh yeah, well, I mean, show us screenshots. Show us screenshots. This is fun. I'm having fun. I enjoy like so, I'm monetized, so I get a little ad revenue. That's no secret, but I enjoy getting paid and being entertained at the same time. I love it. I would rather have that than your dividends you're talking about, honestly. Let's see. I know, but I'm making all this up, right? Well, hey, without screenshots, I can't say that you're not. Oh, ESR Tech has a channel too, but not on that account. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Join Coach's Discord. We can coordinate having you come on our podcast. Absolutely. I'm ready. I'm ready to debate this. Actually, let's do it like Wednesday. We're overdue. We're overdue for an upload because we couldn't align our schedules. But I think you're worth, given your knowledge and stuff, I think you're worth us working our schedules out to have you on. So I'm definitely eager to do that. Listen, I'm making an income greater than owning a rental apartment, like a whole apartment complex. And I had to put no money down, no plungers. That's like the first thing you think of when it comes to real estate is plungers. No real estate, nothing. Let's stop unless you're playing with pennies. Well, if you were watching a few minutes ago, I'm not playing with pennies, obviously. You won't make money with the old max. I go in lump sum. I don't stop until I get all my money out, and then it's a free run. I don't care about. Did you misspell this on purpose? Navarosian? When you make that much money. Yeah, this is thoroughly entertaining. I'm about to pop some popcorn for sure. I haven't had this much entertaining since I think we had Join Jen and some guy going at it, and it was quite funny. Yeah, that's why you're on YouTube chat, because all the wealthy people, right? If the fund splits or goes down, then you may have problems. You just might. I don't know who come here is. All right, you all. I could laugh at this, all night, but I'm gonna have to sign off soon. So happy Cinco de Mayo, you all. There's like an hour left. What's a growth stock? Um, all right. So yeah, join the Discord, like, comment, and subscribe. We will see you all. And this guy, Mr. Oracle Fast Money Trader, I want to know the magic formula. I'd like to have you on for a debate. So message me, private message me, email me, whatever you got to do. Let's set it up ASAP. All right. So thank you all. Ben Mallison makes a funny point. All right. I think that's it for tonight. Enough fun for one.